Hi, this is Sarah Edge with the very, very last week of video reflections. So, I only had one chapter to read, and that was the Bauman chapter about keeping the momentum going. I thought that was really helpful, and it had some good suggestions for the future. I like to say yes all the time and bite off more than I can chew, so I really like this suggestion to take a break and try to avoid burnout, because the students could get burnout, but so could I, especially with life going on. And I'll have a new group of kids in January. Our play's the last day of the semester, so we're gonna do the slate right after the play because those kids are cleaning up after themselves. I'm not gonna have the new kids come and clean up after them, but we're gonna have some new kids who are gonna need to learn the ropes. So we spent the whole first quarter of school building ensemble and learning gesture and doing pantomime and improv and articulation and things like that. So those new kids are going to need to learn all that stuff. So I don't think jumping into production right away might be a good idea. I'm not exactly sure, because I have a lot of kids who do the late spring sports like track and tennis, and between the end of January and the end of March is like a little sweet spot where a lot of the kids won't have athletics, because it's really hard to cast stuff or get kids to show up for rehearsals at my school because there's such an emphasis on school sports. And for the current play, the girl who I had envisioned playing the lead role, even though I was trying not to cast ahead of time, but I had an idea. She really wanted it to. She couldn't do it because she's in cheer, and she has cheer practice every day after school, and I wasn't going to give the lead to people who couldn't go to after school rehearsals. So she's really wanting to do a production before tennis starts. So we might do a small one, I'm not sure. But I don't want to get burned out. And I liked the idea of spreading the roles around and letting the kids who have put in some hard work but had smaller parts, giving them a chance to grow and take a bigger part, and then having the kids who took the lead in the last production step back and learn ensemble skills, because the book said that people in ensemble have to be more versatile, and I think that's true, because when you're a lead, you're just playing one character. And for example, in our play, the ensemble is they're narrating the story, they're the Greek chorus, but they also become demons and they end up taking on the mood of the show. It keeps changing. So they are a little bit more dynamic than some of the other characters. What else? Worked really hard on my production book. I've never done one before, so I learned how to make a light cue sheet and a sound cue sheet and a master cue sheet and a master props list this week. So I started them, and I had my students, I did the first scene, and I have my students who are taking on those roles do the other scenes. Even though I already completed them, I didn't give them all that information. So they got the beginning so that they could learn how to do that on their own. And I had my students write their own cast and crew bios on Tuesday for the program, so we would have those in there. Still waiting on a couple. I think it's been a really, really good week as far as getting stuff done in our class. We had our very first rehearsals on Monday because we came back from Thanksgiving. I was out the week of Thanksgiving because I had surgery. So they had a sub who they worked on their choral ode together with, but we had our first actual rehearsal on Monday. And so we did the blocking for scene 1, and the athletic director showed up. He's Zeus, and he's so excited. So it's good. He's modeling, learning new things and trying new things and participating in the arts, even if you're a jock. So I think that's really good. And I've heard from the student body, there are a lot of people who are going to come to the play now because they really, really want to see Mr. Perk as Zeus. And he's growing out his beard for our play, which is awesome. But yeah, we started our rehearsals. We did the blocking for scene 1, which went a lot more easily than I thought it would. A lot of the kids haven't memorized their lines yet, or at least they hadn't by Wednesday. I wanted them to know them by Monday, but we'll see. Hopefully they're learning them. We have a lot of kids who don't do anything for school after school in our district. Like when I first got hired there, they strongly suggested not assigning homework if at all possible because the kids just won't do it. So I usually don't assign a whole lot, but learning lines is going to be important for them to do. We do have some time in class to do that though. So I've divided up our days. I have theater class Monday through Friday. It's an hour period. And then I have drama club, which is an hour and a half after school Mondays and Tuesdays. And I've got some kids who are in the after school, they're cast in the play. And then in my theater class, I have some other people who are cast in the play, and then all of the props, crew, set, costumes. So the schedule I designed so far is Monday. Well, I'm going to stick to it and see how it works for this play. Anyways, Monday and Tuesday when we have the after school rehearsals on those days. In class and after school, we're going to go over blocking and do rehearsing. We can only do rehearsing without Jim going on next to the stage on Wednesdays. So we have Monday and Wednesdays are rehearsal days. Tuesdays like character building and makeup days. And then I have Thursday and Friday as designated build days for us to work on things like props and sets. And even if the kids are part of the crew, they've been assigned to a group. They got to choose them too, though. But they're on a part of a group for building things. So hopefully they'll treat their materials that have been made with respect because they helped make them and they've watched their friends work on them too, so they know how much hard work has gone into those things, and they'll get a taste of doing different jobs, not just acting. Trying to think of anything else. So we got a lot done though. Everybody's got their little group for build days. We've got the sets drawn out. All of the costumes have been drawn out. We've got the master props list, and the students have started consulting. The prop builders are consulting with the actors and measuring them to make sure that the props are going to be the right size compared to the actors. And I've got some girls working on makeup design who want to go to cosmetology school after high school. It's been like, everybody's been actively working this week, and it's been really good. And then like, what else did we do this week? Oh, the literary review. So I looked up a lot of articles about special needs kids, like kids who have autism, spectrum disorder, or ADHD. I have quite a big handful of students in my class who have IEPs with those specific disabilities. My class has gotten smaller because some of the kids decided it was too much and they left. But at the end of the first quarter this year, I had 33 students in my class, and 13 of them had IEPs and had no aid or any sort of help. So some of the kids have left the school or decided they wanted to do different things second quarter, but I still have a lot of students who have specifically ADHD and autism or both. So I looked up articles about how theater education benefits those students for like practicing social situations, learning communication skills, and then also like trauma-informed teaching drama, because all of the kids are traumatized from COVID still, and then a lot of them have other traumatic things that are happening in their lives. So trying to learn how to use drama to help the kids with that and teach in a way that's not going to trigger their trauma. We've got a lot of that. And I also looked up some articles about plays that, teaching plays that I'm considering doing, like the Diary of Anne Frank and Macbeth. I think there's a big push from the students to try to do Macbeth in the spring. I don't think that I'm ready to do a full-length Shakespeare yet, so maybe an abridged version would be good. But we also are finishing a tragedy right now, so I don't know if doing another tragedy would be appropriate because the book said to try to change things up. So it's just things to consider as we're moving forward, and after the show, where to move on. So anyway, I found this class to be extremely helpful. It couldn't happen at a better time because I had to learn how to put on a play that was an expectation from the district, and I got thrown into it. And I feel way more confident in my ability to effectively facilitate a theater program. And I'm really proud of my students for all their hard work as we've been learning together and growing together. So thank you so much. Have a great day.